Hello, welcome to Constitution Monday with Monday. The 23rd Amendment, ratified in 1961, extended the right to vote in presidential elections to the citizens of Washington, D.C. Before this amendment, residents of our nation's capital, men and women living in the heart of American government, had no voice in choosing the president or vice president. While the amendment aimed to expand democratic participation, it also raised important constitutional and federalism questions about the nature of the federal district and the proper balance between state sovereignty and national representation. Background: why D.C. had no vote. The founders established the District of Columbia as a federal district, not a state, under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution. This design ensured that the seat of government remained neutral, free from the control of any single state. However, this also meant that residents of D.C. did not have the same political rights as citizens of the states, including the right to vote for president. By the mid-20th century, as D.C.'s population grew and national views on representation evolved, pressure mounted to give its residents a say in presidential elections. Text and purpose of the amendment. The 23rd Amendment states, "The district constituting the seat of government of the United States shall appoint in such manner as the Congress may direct a number of electors of president and vice president equal to the whole number of senators and representatives in Congress to which the district would be entitled if it were a state, but in no event more than the least populous state." In simple terms, D.C. can participate in presidential elections through the Electoral College. The number of electors cannot exceed that of the smallest state, currently 3. Congress determines how these electors are selected. Constitutional significance. From a constitutional republic standpoint, the 23rd Amendment represents both an expansion of voting rights and a test of federal balance. Positive constitutional principles. Inclusion in the national voice. D.C. residents, who pay federal taxes and serve in the military, gained a voice in the executive leadership of the nation. Reflection of representative government. The amendment aligns with the principle that government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. Constitutionalist concerns. Federal neutrality. The founders intended the capital to remain independent of state politics, ensuring no undue influence over federal institutions. Incremental statehood pressure. Some argue that granting electors blurred the line between a neutral district and a state, setting the stage for later movements advocating full statehood or congressional representation for D.C. Precedent and permanence. By altering the founders' framework for the federal district, the amendment raises questions about how far constitutional change should go in adjusting original design. Impact on the Republic. Since ratification, D.C. has consistently cast 3 electoral votes in presidential elections, giving its citizens a symbolic and functional role in national politics. Yet, debates about D.C. statehood and congressional representation persist. From a constitutional republic perspective, this amendment illustrates the tension between equality of participation and fidelity to structure. It expands democratic inclusion but challenges federalist boundaries. It gives citizens a voice but tests the limits of what the founders envisioned for the federal city. Why it matters today. Understanding the 23rd Amendment reminds us that constitutional changes, even well-intentioned ones, must be weighed carefully against the framework of limited government. Key takeaways. Liberty and representation are vital, but must coexist with the federal structure that guards against centralization. The amendment shows how the Constitution adapts to new needs, while also highlighting the risks of incremental shifts away from the founders' balance. It teaches that every amendment, however small, shapes the future of the Republic's constitutional order. The 23rd Amendment was a step toward broader participation, granting D.C. residents a long-denied voice in presidential elections. Yet, it also stands as a constitutional lesson, reminding us that even as we pursue inclusion, we must preserve the federal balance that keeps our republic limited, ordered, and free. Our system depends not only on who votes, but on maintaining the structure that protects liberty for all. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay free.